everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Aaron. If you're new here, thanks for checking this video out, and if you're a current subscriber, I do appreciate you continuing to watch my videos. Alright, so today I am reviewing the film Spider-Man No Way Home. Alright, so, spoiler free. I don't even know how I'm gonna go about having this video be a spoiler-free review, because so much of this movie is spoilers, because so much of the film itself involves nostalgia. So I'm gonna try and do this review best I can. I do plan on doing a spoiler full review of it in a separate video, so make sure you check that out. Alright, so spoiler free. Okay, here we go. In the last movie, Spider-Man gets his identity revealed to the public, that he is Peter Parker, and he is falsely accused of a crime he didn't commit. This movie picks up right after that, like literally like a minute after that, and now we're in the current film. His whole identity is now released to the public, and it's affecting his life and also the lives of the people he holds close to him, and so he just wants to fix all of it. So he decides, oh, I'll go to Doctor Strange, and he can manipulate reality, right, because of the stone he has, and we can set everything straight, and it can be like, no one knows I'm Spider-Man. So he goes to Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is like, I don't really want to do this. It's kind of not exactly a safe spell to cast, and, you know, it could be dangerous. But then he's like, I guess I'll do it. So anyway, as he's actually creating the spell, Peter is like, oh, can you change it so that, you know, MJ still knows I'm Spider-Man, and oh, can you change it again and so that my best friend knows, and oh, can you change it again so my aunt knows, because it would be too hard for me to, you know, tell them again who I am. And I'm thinking, is it really that hard to do, though? Just say, hey, I'm Spider-Man, here's the proof. I mean, it's really not that difficult. While he's saying all these things, Doctor Strange is like doing this spell, right? And you see it like floating in the air around him. If you saw the trailer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And he keeps telling Peter, stop tampering with the spell. You're gonna mess this up and it could be dangerous. And Peter keeps talking because Peter's a fucking idiot. That's a huge part of why I'm not a huge fan of these Spider-Man films. I like the movies. I sort of like the movies. As Spider-Man movies, I find them incredibly annoying, because Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man and of Peter Parker he just is so childish and stupid, and it would be fine if he was like supposed to be like a 14-year-old Spider-Man, but he's supposed to be like 18 years old, okay? Maybe I just grew up differently, or I'm just different in general, or I had, with the limited amount of friends I had, most of them were pretty mature, but I don't remember ever being that stupid at 16, 17, 18 years old. I don't remember anyone I knew being stupid like that. So, I don't know if times have changed, or if I don't understand it, okay? Get off that tangent. Peter messes up the spell, it causes a bunch of issues, and now the supervillains from other realities, other universes, start coming into his universe, and now he has to take care of this mess he created. Basically, that's all in the trailer. Can I get into details about the movie, what I liked and disliked in details for this review? Not really, because everything that happens in the trailer happens in the first 20 minutes of the movie, and then there's a bunch of stuff afterward, and I don't want to spoil any of that. So I'm going to talk about, did I like this movie? I liked it. Did I love it? No. Was it a great Spider-Man movie? No. Was it the best Spider-Man movie of the new trilogy? In my opinion, it wasn't. I enjoyed Far From Home a lot more, and near the end of Far From Home, I was starting to be like, okay, I think I'm liking Tom Holland's version of Peter Parker and Spider-Man a little bit more than originally. Maybe I'm just being too harsh on him. Then this movie comes out. I can't stand this version of Peter Parker. I can't stand this version of Spider-Man. I just, even if I wasn't partial to the original Sam Raimi trilogy with Tobey Maguire, which those movies aren't fantastic, okay? I like them a lot. They're special to me, but I can admit that they're not like the greatest movies ever. But even if I didn't like those movies as much as I do, this movie would still just not be great. Peter Parker, Spider Man, is just not. I don't know. He doesn't. I don't know how to get into it. He's just such a dumb, selfish kid. And you think between the last two Spider Man movies and Spider Man and his appearance in Avengers Infinity War and in Endgame that you think he'd learn and mature, and he's still so dumb. It's incredibly frustrating because I hate when I watch a movie and I'm trying to enjoy it, and the whole time I'm thinking, why did that character just make that decision? That was really stupid. Oh, well, just let it go, don't think about it. And then they make another stupid decision. And then another one, and then another one. For me, maybe because I just love movies so much, when stuff like this happens, it just frustrates me to no end. I know this review probably sounds like I'm just shitting out in this movie, and I'm not trying to. I'm just, like I said, I like the movie, but it was disappointing for me, which is funny because there's a character in the movie who says at least 3 times, if you don't have high expectations, you won't be disappointed. Or maybe it was something like, if you have low expectations, you won't be disappointed if they fail. Something along those lines. And at the end of the movie, I was like, man, I wish I would have known that first because I could have adhered to that thought process and maybe enjoyed this movie more than I did. I think this movie is extremely overhyped. I just don't think it's just not that good of a movie. Like, it's okay. It's okay. And it's annoying because do you remember when the first few MCU films came out? I mean, Captain America, Iron Man, I mean, Thor, like, those movies were more than just okay. They were great. And then the first Avengers movie, and even some of the movies after that leading up to the Infinity War timeline. And it's great, but the past few MCU films have just been disappointing for me. I remember someone asked me about Eternals when I was done watching it, and I said the same thing about Spider-Man is I was disappointed. And it's kind of sad to me because Marvel's franchise of films is kind of losing quality of how great the film is, but increasing its quality of production value, if that makes sense. Like, the CGI looks great, the soundtrack is good, you know, the directing is okay, but as far as storyline goes and character goes, there's just so much that's just diminished. And those are the things that drive a really good movie. You can watch a really crappy movie that has terrible CGI, maybe not the best film grain or camera work or audio, but if you have a great story and great characters, you can push those things aside and when you're done watching the movie, be like, that was a great movie. Even though the production value wasn't totally the best it could be. But it's like that switched now with Marvel. And these later films, they just don't have that anymore. and it's just disappointing to me. I mean, some of the fight scenes felt like, this is it. I guess, okay. Well, I guess there was a fight scene, that was an action scene. Like, it didn't have that heart to it. It didn't have that emotional intensity to it. There was one fight scene, maybe halfway through the movie, that I was like, okay, here we go. This is the kind of thing I like. Like, it's got emotional intensity, it's impactful, what they're fighting for. And that's what drives a great fight scene in a movie. In a movie where nothing matters, or the characters, like, they're gonna win, like, when that kind of thing's happening, you just lose that impact of a great action scene or a great fight scene. So yeah, on a rating of 1 to 10, for personal enjoyment factor, I'd probably rate this movie at like a 6. Yeah. For production value and everything, I mean, it's really well done. I put it in an 8, but for enjoyment factor, because it's lacking in story, it's just, again, like I said, it's like a 6. Anyway, that about wraps it up. If you're gonna see it, I mean, I wouldn't recommend not seeing it. I mean, everyone has different opinions, so you might love it. But for me, it was just really disappointing. Alright, so comment below if you're going to see it, or if you have seen it, and you want to talk about it. Like my video, subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Big news, I did hit 1,000 subscribers yesterday, I think it was, and that means a lot to me. So I do appreciate all of you who subscribed. And, if you're a subscriber, or even if you're not, and you want to ask me a question, I'll put the link in the description below. But you can click on that, you can leave a comment for me, a question, and I will answer that in a future video that I'll do, just answering people's questions. So, thanks for watching. I'm Aaron. Don't forget to look for my spoiler review of this film, and hopefully you will see me in that next video. Alright, goodbye.